Hello, welcome to the music podcast. My name is Nick, and today we welcome Asher to the podcast.
So what's up?
So, tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm a 20-year-old hip hop artist out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Originally from DC. I would say over the last 2 years is when I started taking music seriously, and it became more than just like fun. It's now a career, and it's now a passion of mine. So, yeah.
So how did living in DC expect influence you in your music career?
Um, it's a very creative city. So I would probably say it did a lot for me. I would probably more say my parents. My mom is a singer, and my father, I don't really know him like that, but from what I remember, he also recorded like music. Like I remember like a studio in one of our apartments that we first had, and he played the drums, and I played the drums and other instruments. Um, so yeah, I would say that music stuff kind of comes from them.
And how did you end up in North Carolina?
My mom got married, so we came up here or down here.
Cool. And what does the song "Last Days on Earth" mean?
Last few days on Earth. That's a song where I was at my very lowest in terms of my mental, and I didn't really feel like being here. And so last few days on Earth was a caption to something that I put on my Instagram story. I ended up putting last few days on Earth because that's how I was feeling. And then like a day or two later, I went to the studio crying my heart out while recording that song. And it was just kind of like my last, this is it. That song pretty much saved me to still be here.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what's next for you?
Right now I'm focused on my shows. I have a show coming up August 3rd. I'm in Charlotte, headlining. I'm excited about that. I have a show coming up Sunday. So I'm really kind of focused on my shows. I have a single that I'm gonna drop this summer. And then in terms of like projects, I'm kind of working on a collab or like a group project to promote the show August 3rd. But other than that, I don't know when I'll drop another album, but yeah.
That's pretty cool. Um, so who inspired you to make music? Like what other artists inspired your like music career?
I would say in the beginning it was pretty much like whatever was popular. So I would say like Drake and Future at the time were like really running music. So I used to try to make music that sound like them, but that wasn't authentic to me. So for someone who really helped me find my niche, I guess you could say, and like really find my passion for the actual music is like Kendrick. I think he's probably the best rapper of all time in my opinion. So I think I would say him, but I mean I'm inspired by a lot of people.
That's pretty cool. Any you said you're having a collab in September or August, you said.
It's gonna come out July 29th, but it's for that August show.
That's cool. And how many shows have you done so far?
Of my own, like me headlining.
Yeah, you headlining, yeah.
2 so far.
2?
So I'm still pretty new to it. But I've done a lot of like showcases or, little pop-up events or whatever. But
And out of all your little like pop-ups, which ones have you been your favorite so far?
I would say it's the one right before I did my first headliner one, um, which was probably in, I'm thinking this had to be in probably February, like the end of February, maybe early March, at the same place that I ended up doing my actual first show at. They were having like a little art event or whatever, and they needed some performers, so I performed. One of my homies who was on the album performed the song, and every time we perform, we like, and it's a showcase or whatever, we bring that building down. Like everybody else is kind of like, it's probably hard to, you know, go after all of that,
Yeah.
but yeah, we bring that energy. And the owner of the joint, named Juice, he recognized that. And once my album came out, probably a week or two later, then he asked my manager Cash if we wanted to do our first show there. And so that's how that happened,
Oh, that's pretty cool.
for sure.
Yeah, your music is really inspiring. It's pretty cool to hear your stuff.
I really appreciate it, bro.
Is there anybody in the future you would if you could get like any famous artist to do a duet with you, which one would you want to do a duet with?
Hmm. 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 I don't know. I would probably say I don't know. I feel like I guess I feel like Kendrick is too easy for me to say, or like maybe Beyonce, or like somebody who just breathes, like who breathes greatness, and like that perfection, and like that's their, you know what I'm saying? Everyone is not on that top tier level. So really whoever's on that top tier um is what I guess would say. I mean, that probably didn't answer the question, but
Yeah. And what does next chapter mean on your album?
next chapter. So my album Shift is basically the process of it's a process of change, if you put it in simple terms. And and so to change, I'm going through therapy, and you can kind of hear the stages of, you know, change through the therapist talking to me and stuff like that. And then also on the backspin of that, instead of what you hear at the end of next chapter, is that's not just a therapist, that's God. So it's representing me going through a whole bunch of stuff and God never leaving my side. And then also on the physical perspective, it's, you know, kind of awareness to have that it's okay to, you know, seek therapy when you're going through stuff. So next chapter is basically, you know, it's kind of like a celebration of, you know, we went through a whole bunch of stuff for us to get to this very moment, to where it's time to, you know, use everything that was learned and take it with me to wherever my, you know, my next chapter is.
And
So yeah.
yeah, and are you very religious?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Christian, and I would say yeah, it's, I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, I
Yeah,
wouldn't
cool.
say overly religious. I would say it's more relationship with God and Jesus, for sure.
Yeah. So where can people find more things about you?
You could go for sure. Go follow me on Instagram, 2A's SHER, 2 underscores. Um, from there, you'll see a link in my bio to all my music and everywhere else. But to go find my music, it's just ASHER on all platforms where you get your music. And yeah, I'm everywhere.
So like the Spotify's and the iTunes and all that, right?
Yeah. ASHER.
And before we go, and anything else you want to tell people about you?
I would for sure like to. I for sure like to say that I'm probably not. Well, I know for a fact that I'm not the casual, the usual 20-year-old artist or person, because I feel like, well, I know for sure that it's my mission and my purpose to, you know, go about music the way I'm going about it and to impact a lot of lives one day and stay focused and, you know. So I would say that for any of, you know, anyone that's very young or old, doesn't matter, to, if you haven't yet, to tap in into your purpose, and you live happier that way. And also, you know, everyone was put here on a mission. It's just about you accepting the excitement and going out there to be great. But yeah,
Wow, you're very inspirational.
appreciate it.
Thank you for coming on the Music Podcast. Have a great one.
You too.